Okay, here we are. We're back with MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries, and the update has finally happened. I didn't get to take that long of a look at what all the changes were. But let's just go ahead and jump straight into the game here. So the main thing I noticed is you can now sell things from cold storage on the market. I'd have to check that. Other than that, a lot of it's just bug fixes. That's a lot of what I noticed. There might be some minor things that I kind of missed. But yeah, that's kind of what's going on at the moment. I've noticed that Bahad over here has jumped from over there to over here. So yeah, there might be some minor things that I don't know if I was ever up there to know if there's even anything up there, but I'm just going to assume no. Alright, so there are some things I want to do, though, as far as changes. One of them I noticed when I was reviewing the footage of a previous stream, when I was doing editing. Do I have anything in cold storage? No, I don't. So we can't prove that right yet, that one change. But I do want to change the loadout of the Atlas. So somebody pointed this out, and I guess I just misremembered at the time. But they pointed out that ammunition, possibly would be stored in the legs, and if you've seen me play the series, then you know that's something I typically do. I just forgot that I had put the SRM ammo up here, and I'm not really sure why I did that. There might have been some reason behind it at the time I did it, but thinking back on it, a good way to help the survivability of this mech would be just to switch that stuff around. So we're just going to take out some of the heat sinks from the legs and just move the SRM ammo over there. The Gauss rifle ammo doesn't really matter because it can't blow up. It's not volatile. And that was the one thing I pointed out when the person mentioned the ammo. But I wasn't remembering the SRM ammo being over here. So I caught that, and now I can fix it. Alright, so it's going to take a lot longer to get this thing going, but hey, it's a good change. It's important. So we'll go ahead with it. Alright, let's go ahead and start that work. Another change I think I want to make, I'm not positive of though, because I need to actually look at the loadout of the King Crab and see if there's actually room for this. So, oh, heck yeah, there is. But I don't have any more double heat sinks. So my idea was to maybe put some more double heat sinks in here. I thought we had 4 of the things. Maybe I did at one point and I put it in a different mech. If that's the case, I don't remember which mech that is, so... Maybe I put it in the Banshee. That'd probably be a good answer to that, as the Banshee would kind of need it. Yeah, I put the last double heatsink I had in the Banshee, because I figured the Banshee would need it because of all the energy weapons and what have you. So, I guess we'll just live with that. So really what we're down to is I just want more double heat sinks. Which version of the King Crab am I running, by the way? I believe it's the 4 zeros. Kind of hard sometimes to notice the different variants of the King Crab because they all just are zeros. It's just a different number of zeros, and some of them have letters. So our King Crab is there. Yeah, it's 4 zeros. I think the one with upgraded armor is the word I was trying to say there, is the 000 variant. Otherwise, they're identical. The triple zero and the quad 0 are exactly the same otherwise. Okay. So I'm happy with the King Crab. It is a very solid mech. The Atlas should be better, although I did just try out a variant that I kind of liked. But for right now, I think I'm just going to keep with the variant as is, or our loadout of it. Okay. So we're more or less ready to go. The game plan was to jump over to the campaign and just immediately start doing that. Before I do that, let's just double check that we're not missing out on anything. There has been an update since, and maybe it changed some things, so like what you'd expect to find in a store or things like that. I don't think so, but might as well take a look at it. That's my own equipment, I'm just noticing. Wait. I think I was looking at that right. Let me just double check. Now I'm getting confused. Yeah, okay, so I was looking in the store. I thought it maybe the inventory tab had been pulled, but alright. Good. Let's take a look at the barracks. Alright, so we're good there as well. Alright, let's go ahead and jump to where we want to go. The only downside of me going and doing this campaign mission right off is I am a little cold. I haven't had enough time to really warm up, I think. We could jump over to another system and do kind of a test run, but I don't really think it's a good idea. I think we should just get in here and go for it. So let's travel. Now, the Atlas will not be back in time, but we may not need it. We might not even have enough drop weight to really take advantage of it anyway. So, yeah, let's go ahead and... Or we could slow things down. I could jump to here, which would take 13 days, and then another jump here would take another 13 days. We could check what's in this store. No, that's probably not a bad idea. As we still have pretty good money at the moment. And you never know, we might find some cool weapons, or, hey, maybe some double heat sinks. Which is kind of what I'm after. I don't know if I have the tonnage for the crab to do many more double heat sinks, because looking at that loadout, it looked pretty sparse. I don't think I even had any single heat sinks that I could swap out. Just reiterating that. Yeah, every heatsink I have in this thing is a double heatsink, so it's not really going to be easy necessarily to upgrade anything without stripping things out. So yeah, it's probably as good as we can make it with the loadout being what it is, unless of course we were to downgrade the PPC to a large laser or something like that. But right now, as much as this mech does run hot, it's not a severe problem. It's manageable. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the market. That's why we came here. So there is an Atlas. It's the RS variant, and again, I wish I knew what the different variants were. Like, I think the biggest problem we have is I know that there's mechs that you can buy that have double heatsinks, but and that's what one thing that somebody kind of tipped. A tip somebody gave me is they bought a bunch of hero mechs that I think it was like an urban mech or something, so it was fairly cheap. They just bought a bunch of them and stripped out the double heatsinks and then sold them right back. And that was how they got a lot of their double heatsinks. And that's probably the most efficient way to get double heatsinks, because they're very hard to find on the market typically. But I don't know which ones are the ones that have double heatsinks, and these descriptions don't tell you. Nothing in here would indicate that it would have a double heatsink or even upgraded armor. So those two things I can't really tell. I would just have to know the variant and know that it had it. But yeah, this is a different variant of the Atlas. Otherwise, we have a Victor, an Orion, and other things. Not anything I'm necessarily all that interested in. Okay, nothing really here. Let's take a look at other weapon systems. We do have a full quality AC-20 with the burst fire mode. I was going to say I'm not currently using any autocannon 20s, but that's actually not true. Two of my mechs at least are using them. Alright, so that's a thought. I'll think about it. Missile systems, we do have a high quality LRM-20. I am using these now. I'll go ahead and buy it. I don't know if I have a 4 quality LRM-20. It's potentially that I do, but it'd be nice to have a backup even in the case that I do have one. So yeah, we'll go ahead and purchase that. Very expensive here, so obviously I only want to buy things that I'm definitely going to use. So I'm actually going to pass on this, mostly because of the markup that we have. I'm not really so interested in that. But otherwise, we're just looking for maybe ammunition or other things that we are not having a lot of, that, you know, it might be a little rarer. So, all right, now that we have that taken care of, let me take a look at the barracks real quick. We have another Hutchinson. We already have a Hutchinson. Yeah. So that would be very confusing. So as a result, even though this pilot looks like they're very good, I'm not going to pick them up because that would just confuse the crap out of me. So yeah, we're just going to pass on that pilot. Okay, so we've taken a look at those things. Nothing really jumped out at me other than the LRM-20. Might as well take a look at that King Crab, see what quality level we have in it. There it is. Yeah, we have a quality 4 LRM-20, so that's just a backup in case something goes wrong. Which is always good to have backups. Okay, well, we're good to go pretty much. So let's go to the star map, and we're just going to jump to our location. Unfortunately, we didn't really find anything here, but I thought it was worth the looking. And hey, it burns some time. We only have to wait 1 day if we want to use the Atlas. And I'm going to go ahead and wait that day because, you know, who really cares? It's just 1 day. What year are we at? April 3027. So we've almost been playing through 12 days of time. Yeah, so we're just gonna wait. Out of curiosity, let me take a look at the log. So we're currently at this location. Oh, so that one thing, yeah, okay. So this is a communicate we can do. Out of curiosity, it says it's part 2, so I'm assuming that's a contract we already did that maybe I just missed that there was a part 2 to it. All right, I'll click on it. Okay, Omega Security, for your eyes only. We did not expect such a strident response from that. We knew their support had grown in recent years, but even we do not understand the strength of that response. After such a brazen show of force, it is paramount that we engage the Black Dragons and reduce the strength as much as humanly possible. We must show them the error of their ways. Since your subterfuge has been revealed, we suggest you retreat to the Badlands, where the Black Dragon forces will seek to destroy you. So it sounds like a defense contract, perhaps. No, hey, we get some LRM-20s for free, potentially. Alright, we'll go ahead and accept that. I don't know where it is. Down there. That's actually not, in all intents and purposes, that far away. And it's a Warzone contract, which, again, that's not bad. So once we do this campaign mission, I might go down and do that, because we can stop by in the industrial zone over here. I might even go over here. It really depends on what the gem path looks like. I mean, what would be our path? That's the shortest one. Yeah, I would think through there. This would probably be, there's a long roundabout path, so... Although you could probably jump from here to here, no problem. So I don't think I'd want to go to either of these places because we've already just been there. But for right now, let's not worry about that, and let's worry about the contract that's in front of us. 85 difficulty, that might be one of the, if it isn't the most difficult, one of the more difficult missions we've done from a difficulty number rating. Okay, so we do have some points to spend here. Drop weight is 380, which is maybe the highest we've seen so far. No, that's not true. We had one that was just 400 straight up. Alright, a shipping company mostly supplying food, medicine, and materials to the other settlements along the periphery is being run out of business by Comstar, and so on and so forth. Alright, so we do have to prepare for this to be possibly really heavy resistance. So damage coverage should be pretty high, I think. At least 4, maybe even 5. I'm going to go with 4, though. I think that's a good number. And then we're just going to go with the last 8 points going straight into salvage shares. So we get a total of 18. All right, I think that'll do it. Let's go ahead and accept. Okay. So this is our previous Lance loadout. We're definitely going to change this. I'm going to go ahead and put myself in the King Crab. This may not work out because it's a defense contract, and I might not be able to get myself at the ranges that we would need. I'm going to think about that one. Let's get some of our other mechs in here, though. So we want the Banshee, more than likely, which is there. I might stick with the Highlander because, again... This is a good solid mech for us. And then what would we run as another potential mech? I might even go with the Victor here rather than the Awesome. Although the Awesome is better armored. Just because I think those ranges are going to be fairly close. I'd be very surprised if they're not close range. What would be other alternatives? Well, this is what we're looking at right now, and we're 15 tons underweight. I could slap in, like, give myself the King Crab, I give myself the King Crab and I give somebody else the Atlas. I definitely want to run these two. I don't think that would be possible, though. Yeah, I don't think it is possible if we do that. So we might just have to deal with what we've got here. Unless I replace the Highlander with the Atlas, for example. If we do that, we'd be up to 375. I don't know. I think with the defense contract, I think the Atlas makes a lot more sense. Especially if it's a more urban one. We don't really know. I mean, technically it was in the contract information that I didn't read. I kind of have a bad habit of that. I think this is what we're going to go with, though. Most of these mechs have equipment that are replaceable. The only one exception to that is the Banshee has a double heatsink, but it would have to completely be destroyed for that to happen. Which, hey, that may happen, but all right, let's ready up. I think we've seen that the King Crab is very, very effective, but I think a lot of its effectiveness depends upon it being able to dictate range. And from what I've seen of defense contracts, you oftentimes don't get that ability to dictate range.
Reactor
because you have to stay close to the
sensors online.
To the point that you have to defend.
Online. All systems nominal.
Also, firing LRMs into the buildings inadvertently would be bad.
Get there and protected from raider attack. If that supply depot falls, thousands of innocent people will be forced from their homes, Commander. Good luck.
Oh. Crap.
Copy. We're Oscar Mike.
You know what? I made a mistake. I forgot to, let's just go to entered system. I forgot to load up my pilots and stuff and switch around the mechs properly. That's my bad. I'll just redo that real quickly. Just wasn't thinking. Alright. Ah, yeah, because we arrived, we have to wait, and now we can do the contract. Alright. So, 4 points here. The rest in here. Okay. Accept. Alright, so, yeah, we'll keep the Victor where it is, and we'll switch in the Banshee. Yeah. I think Banshee in the back makes perfect sense, because it's got a lot of long-range weapons. It's got the large laser, 2 large lasers, an AC-10 and an LRM-10. Those are all long-range weapons. Whereas the Highlander, although it does have a long-range weapon that's very potent, it's got a lot of short-range weapons, so it's okay that it's a little closer. And a lot of its damage is short-range. Okay, now let's switch around the pilots. That's the one thing that I really forgot to do. So we want stronger ballistic weapons. I mean, all 3 of these mechs have all 3 weapon types, but definitely I think we switch over Captain Gan here over to this. Okay. What other pilots do we have that we could use here? So we also have Captain Ludford here. So he's pretty good in energy weapons and ballistic weapons, but not so good in missile weapons, although eventually he could be better. Who else do we have? We have Juarez, who's being used. Emphasis on energy weapons. Honestly, the Banshee has a pretty strong emphasis on energy weapons. It does have a autocannon and a missile system, but not the emphasis of the weapons. I think the energy weapons. So Juarez makes sense there. Hutchison, kind of similar loadout. I think we switch out Hutchison for Ludford. Even though Hutchison is better now, actually that's a tough call. Because I would say Hutchison's better now. It really becomes from an offensive versus defensive side of things. Hutchison's much better from that standpoint, from a defensive standpoint. So you know what I think I'm going to do? I'm going to swap out Juarez for Ludford, and I'm going to switch Hutchinson and Ludford in their position. Let's just make sure I'm not missing a pilot. Whoops, done the wrong thing. Missing a pilot that makes more sense. So Freeman. I mean, Freeman would be possibly better right now. Let's see the difference between Ludford and him. Yeah, again, it's from a defensive standpoint, and even then, it's not a huge advantage. Offensively, really all Freeman has going is missiles. So, yeah, not really worth doing Freeman. Shen. Yeah, I honestly think... I mean, these three are now our best pilots. Well, technically these four. Captain Gann, the other one. So we can really switch out Juarez and Ludford pretty freely. And technically, Ludford has the higher ceiling, so... Yeah, well, we use Ludford in this case. Okay. I think I'm a little bit more happy with our loadout, our pilots, and what have you. So let's go ahead and ready up. I'm still not sure if the Atlas is the best call here. But, yeah.
Attention. Prepare for battle departure.
I'm pretty happy with our pilots and where they're at.
Stand clear.
We have a little bit of room for improvement, but
Reactor online. Sensors online. Weapons online. All
Okay.
systems nominal.
The shipping company's supply depot has been marked on your map. Get there and protected from raider attack. If that supply depot falls, thousands of innocent people will be forced from their homes, Commander. Good luck.
Copy. We're Oscar Mike.
yeah, I'm kind of circling around here because it seems like my allies are stuck on the dropship. So just give them a little bit of time to catch up with the rest of the group. Oh, that being said, they're kind of our longer range performers anyway, so I guess it's okay if they're a little bit further behind. This facility doesn't seem like it's too urban, so maybe going with the short range loadout was maybe a mistake, but nah, we'll just live with it for now.
Forested floors can be slick. Pay attention as you navigate.
Alright, so we got the Victor out front. I wouldn't be overly upset if the Victor got destroyed here.
Remember that your contract
I mean,
is to protect
I
as
wouldn't
much
like
of
that
the
to happen,
facility
but...
as possible. We'd much rather pay
Alright,
out
47
your
enemies, so that's a fair
bonuses
number.
and reconstruct extensive amounts of the facility.
Not as many as we'd see in some of the other contract types, but... Oh, they're already destroying the base.
Just cross the perimeter, Commander. They're heading your way.
Alright, let's get in here.
Target acquired.
Yeah, miss. I can't really see what I'm shooting at, but we'll just go for it. Okay, good.
New target acquired. Target
Tango down.
Hello. But let's aim a low because his legs are jacked.
target destroyed.
He's dead.
Target acquired.
I didn't really have a good shot there. I just tried to throw it out.
Target
Got him.
destroyed.
Yeah, I think there's another
Target
tank.
acquired.
I didn't quite get him. Ah, big miss. Okay. Last guy.
Bad news, Commander. More
All right.
hostiles inbound on your position. Get ready for some company.
Let's go ahead and tell my allies to attack that. Good. Get that LRM-20 carrier out of the way. I don't see where the other enemies are. I do see a flyer coming in. Ah, here we are.
Power plant's been crippled. Damn it.
Got him. Okay, again, aim low. Got him.
I got it. Damage to the facilities is minor.
Keep that aiming low. Ah,
We
big
can't
miss.
silence the
He's dead.
cascade. Do what you can to draw the enemies away from here. More hostiles entering the
Oh, that guy
combat
blew up
zone
fast.
perimeter. Brace for additional contacts.
Alright, drop ship over the hill.
Target acquired.
Ah, missed that shot. Let's go ahead and tell my allies to attack that.
Our attack.
Target
Got him.
destroyed.
Alright. We have to keep the base up at 60%. I don't think that's going to happen as we're at 73%. And we haven't even killed half the enemies.
Target acquired.
Fast mover here. I don't have a clear shot of him, so I'm not going to waste my rifle shot. Cicada circling around. I think he's too far out right now.
New target.
This is going to be a hard shot to land. Let's see if we can get it. Yeah, miss. Alright, I'm going to switch back over to the Cicada. Aim low. Got him.
Continuing to converge on your location. Stay frosty, Commander.
See if we can get that arm off.
Destroyed.
Got him.
Enemy mech
Okay, he's dead.
destroyed.
Ooh, a lot of flyers.
Target acquired.
Alright, let's tell my guys to aim at the flyers here. Especially the Igors.
Tango down.
Acquired. Target
Okay.
destroyed.
Good, good, good. I think there's some more vehicles over this way.
Target
Got him.
destroyed.
No, that's too far out. Oh,
Target
hello.
acquired. Target destroyed.
Got him.
Satellite array has been destroyed.
Yeah, we didn't manage to get the 60% thing. I didn't expect that to be the case, though, because the enemy was able to really beat up the base before we even got there. On top of the fact that it's just a lot of enemies that we have to contend with here. It looks like the enemy is stuck here. I don't know if I have a... Okay, good.
En route to your position, Commander.
I definitely think we're going to be able to win. It just... That 60% initial, I think, was pretty much impossible.
Acquired.
Alright. We do have an awesome in that group. Looked like an awesome and then mostly light mechs. So we'll try and intercept the light mechs here. Hopefully there's no vehicles or anything around. Oh, hello.
Target acquired. Target destroyed.
I'm gonna go ahead and tell my allies to
Updated.
try and kill that guy. Because if we don't, he's just gonna be back there laying into... Ah, shit.
New target acquired.
Not really sure what's taking them so long to kill that helicopter.
Target destroyed.
I can't see.
Target destroyed. Incoming missile.
Alright, I gotta pay attention to the awesome here and the rifleman.
Acquired.
I'm gonna go after the rifleman first.
Target destroyed.
Okay, he's dead. Ugh.
Good kill, Commander. That mech is going critical.
Alright, we're taking quite a bit of damage here.
Target destroyed.
Okay, he's dead. That guy's dead. Oh, I'm stuck on something. Okay, good. For free. Alright, alright. No, if there's more... I was gonna say, if there's more enemy, I don't know where they are. No, there's a dropship coming in. There it is. Alright, what do we got? Pretty heavy lance here. This is gonna hurt. Let's try and take out the Yagermech first, because it shouldn't have that much armor. Okay.
Target acquired.
This area is operating at half strength, Commander. If you're going to make a move, now is the time.
Yeah!
Okay.
Target acquired. Target destroyed. Incoming missile. Target
Alright.
destroyed.
We got the awesome to take care of now. I missed that shot. If we can get close range, this guy won't be able to hit me with most of his weapons.
Reinforcements spotted in the area.
Unfortunately, we're really beat up, and we still have 6 enemies to deal with, and I expect them to be heavy. Heavy resistance here. Thankfully, 2 of the enemies look like they are air units.
Enemy destroyed.
Alright. I definitely need to kill these helicopters early, because they are going to be, again, a thorn in the side.
Coordinating on target ID.
Target
Got him.
destroyed.
Oh, come on, hit him.
Target
Got
destroyed.
him. Alright. So, 3 enemies left. I expect them to be max, I just don't know where they are. Alright, here's one.
Acquired.
Okay, we got ourselves a Marauder. He's too far away at the moment for me to really hit him. Oh, shit. I need to back off that Victor. I want them to target the Victor.
On issue target.
Okay, he's dead.
Nice kill.
Alright,
That's even going critical.
alright. They need to focus on the Stalker now.
Engaging with Lance.
Incoming missile.
Hey,
Enemy mech
he's dead.
Target
Oh, he's dead. Alright,
Good work, Commander.
here we have
Meet
it.
me at the extraction point.
Alright, nice straightforward mission. Successful. I think my mech was the only mech that really took a beating there, which is good. That's what we want. And I don't think we lost any systems out of it either, so perfect. As far as I'm concerned. Just don't look at our mech. It looks like a charred mess. Alright. So all in all, that went really well. Let's see some of the... Well, first we're going to do salvage. Alright, so we have 18 parts. We're not going to be able to get the Victor, unfortunately. Let's see what else we got, though. 2 LRM-15s at quality level 3. And 2 LRM-10s. You know, honestly, I think the large lasers are probably worth more to me, even though value-wise they're not. Just because I use large lasers fairly frequently. We also have some medium lasers I'd like to pick up. I'll pick up all 3. Even though, again, we have a lot of these things. But I use a lot of them, so I think it works out. I want to pick up this Locust just to test out that one element. And I'll go ahead and pick up the LRM. It's between the 10 and 15. I know I have a mech right now that's using 10s, and I think I have any that use LRM-15s. I could be wrong on that. I'm not sure. In theory, the LRM-15 is worth more, so we'll just take it for that reason. Okay. That should be all our shares. As far as damage taken, we didn't do bad. That went really well, so I actually over-prepared there. That's fine, though. Let's continue. As far as damage done, I did a lot of damage. My allies, not so much. The Victor was disappointing, but I kind of expected that kind of performance out of the Victor. The Banshee did a little bit better, but in theory, it should have done the best out of the bunch, as I think it had the highest damage output. I'm not 100% on that one. I'd have to check it. Highlander might have fairly comparable. The Highlander did pretty well, though. I'd say this is a decent performance. These two kind of underperformed. All right, let's go ahead and close. That's the way it's done, Commander. Outstanding work. That should dissuade the raiders from attacking again, at least in the near future. And the settlers out there, well, they can continue to live in their homes and on their farms, safe for the time being. That's worth celebrating, I think. On a side note, I've been making excellent progress on the first set of coordinates your father left behind. Shouldn't be long before I can break the encryption completely. But who knows, a few weeks, a few months? There's no sure way to tell. As for the other two sets of coordinates, they're more complex. They'll take even longer, but hey, one victory at a time, right? Alright, so we get a big payout in money and reputation. Money being probably the more, well, we're probably going to need that at some point. We do have to talk to What's-Her-Face, but let's just assess where we're at as far as the damage goes. I don't think anybody lost any systems, so we're good there. As far as what we're going to do, I figure we might as well wait to repair because we're probably going to jump into this industrial zone, which is right nearby. So, and there's no contracts in this conflict zone, so there's no reason to stay. All right, let's go ahead and, I guess, talk to her. See what she has to say. They haven't given me a check of, well, you need to level up more in a while, and I guess it's because we kind of over-leveled with a lot of high reward contracts,
Commander,
so...
I've done it. I've broken the encryption on the first set of coordinates.
About time.
Hey, don't start. I wondered myself if I'd ever crack the encryption. But here we are.
Never doubted you for a minute, Rihanna. What did you find?
Well, not as much as I'd hoped, to be perfectly honest. Take a look. This is the ancient star map we discovered inside the fortress on Xinjiang. You can see where the missing section of the map is supposed to be, right here. The coordinates I unlocked point to this location, a system on the innermost edge of the periphery. I researched it as best I could. All I found was its designation, HD 276914. From everything we know, it's uninhabited. There's nothing out there, Commander. No colonists, no miners, no record that anyone's ever even been there.
Why would my father have gone to so much trouble to protect these coordinates? There has to be something out there.
I agree. The question is, what?
There's only one way to find out. I'll get us to those coordinates ASAP.
All right. Once we're there, we'll have a much better idea of exactly what we've unlocked.
Roger that.
All right. Let's go ahead and take a look. So first we have to read the transmission here. Oh yeah, that's right. I have to read this. We already kind of read it. So we're going to go ahead and accept that contract because that's one of the things we're going to do. And then we have to travel to here. The first set of coordinates point to HD 276914, an uncharted periphery system just outside of Cretan territory. There is only one way to find out what's out there. So we get 750,000 sea bills as a reward. Really not that much of a reward, considering where we're at in the game. But hey, it is what it is. Let's go ahead and take a look real quick at the market, just in case there's something here worth getting. Not that I see. Okay. So let's see where that is. I'm going to assume it's quite a distance away from here. Yeah, indeed it is. So we have some time. So we might as well do some contracts along the way. We're definitely going to finish up this high reward contract as we're really close by, and I don't think it's going to take much work to do, and we get some pretty good equipment out of it as well. So might as well. We'll probably look into some of these other high reward contracts as well. Although we are starting to get into some pretty dangerous, from a threat level, zones. I think we already did a mission, and I think it was a 12 potentially, and it didn't go very well. So I don't even want to know what the difficulty of these 13 areas are. But in any case, let's go ahead and jump over to, I guess it doesn't really matter which place we jump over to, whether it be here or here. So let's just go over here. There's supposedly a hero mech in here. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. And we'll do our repairs and stuff once we get there. And now this is one of those situations where a hero mech has double heat sinks. Even if we don't want it, I may buy it just to strip it of its systems and then just sell the damn thing. But I don't know if it's going to have double heat sinks ahead of time. That's one of the things that's kind of frustrating. I guess there's ways to find out. Alright. But before we do anything else, let's go ahead and take a look at the... Well, no, let's do the market first. It's a quick draw. And you don't get a description down here of what's in it. So I would have to completely make a guess on whether I think this thing has double heat sinks. It's kind of got an odd number here for the heating. Or the cooling. It's not a very high number though, so if it has double heat sinks, I really don't know. Those have medium pulse lasers, but they're quality level 1s. But what else we got here? We have a king crab. We have an atlas. We have a stalker and a trebuchet. This is very expensive if it doesn't have the double heat sinks, I will point out. But let's see what else we got here. AC-20 at high quality. We already have 3 though. Yeah, nothing really there. Yeah, no ammo types that we don't already have in decent amount. So, oh, I think we pass on this one. Do I have anything in my inventory to sell? Potentially that I do. Not really seeing anything. Oh, okay. Leo has the information. That the Lady Killer, blah, blah, blah. And MechWarrior Online, Lost Tech, not commonly available during the Third Succession War. Built around a 20 with 2 jump jets and clad. Okay, so it has special armor. Doesn't mention anything about double heat sinks. Oh, 11 double heat sinks. Okay, there you go. Well, we'd only get 1 out of the deal then, because 10 always come with the mech. So I'd only get 1 out of the deal if I went with that. So as much as a level 11 double heatsink sounds interesting, as I said, I think you're only going to get 1 if I stripped all of the things out of it, because 10, I think the way that this game works, every mech comes with a default of 10, and I think whatever that 10 is ahead of time, whether it be single or double heat sinks, that's set ahead of time, so not really anything you can do with that. Same thing with the XL engine. So the XL engine, XL stands for extra light, and pretty much what an XL engine is, it's more bulky, but it's a lot lighter. So it's going to take up more slots inside the mech, so in theory you might not be able to fit as much equipment, but as a result you get a lot of weight back, and it's pretty dramatic how much weight you get back. I would imagine that most of the hero mechs have something like that, just so that they can fit in a lot of systems. I mean, how would you fit 2 AC-5s in a quick draw if you didn't do something like that? So yeah, so this mech might be interesting, but we're kind of beyond the point of a mech like this, and this is very expensive. But thank you for looking that up for me, Leo. But in any case, I'll think about it. I think 11 million is too much for just 1 double heatsink. We don't need it that badly. Alright, let's take a look at the barracks.
Nice dropship, but boring as hell.
Alright, Covington here is pretty good, as is Sheffield. Let's take a look at Covington.
You're ready to stop wasting my time?
So that's... yeah, pretty solid pilot.
Affirmative, Commander. I'll be in the hangar for pre-drop checklists.
I mean, Sheffield's only 1 away from being maxed out. So the only thing that he's not so great at is here. So definitely, I think we pick up Sheffield, and then I'll think about Covington. All right, so who are we gonna fire? Looks like our on the chopping block is Captain K here. I feel bad. I feel like firing Freeman would be like almost kind of a sin, but I'm sure there's many of you that have thought about it. All right, so we're gonna get rid of Captain K here.
Affirmative, Commander. I'll be in the hangar for pre-drop.
So yeah, definitely we
checklists.
pick up Sheffield. Let's read his description first, though. Captain Sheffield was born into a famous Merrick-based mercenary company. When the company was destroyed by their political enemies, he decided to work as a solo mercenary, keeping himself far from any great house affiliation. He's a battle-hardened pilot who has honed his craft to one of the highest levels. He has a rogue streak, and his carelessness has gotten him into danger far too many times. But that same devil-may-care attitude is what has made him such an in-demand pilot. Alright, well, he's hired. Very expensive, but we can afford it.
Prepped and ready, Commander.
You know, I should check, though, before I hire somebody, if they're going to look exactly the same as somebody else. So far, I think we're good to go on that. I think, also, if we were to hire Covington here...
You're ready to stop wasting my time?
Covington doesn't really look like anybody. Now, Covington is only 2 points off of being maxed out, and the only thing it looks like heat management is his weak point. It's still pretty good. So we'll hire him as well. I don't know who I'm going to fire. In theory, it would be Captain Shen and Freeman, but we got Captain Shen for free from a event, so I kind of feel bad about firing him. But we're very unlikely to use him at this point, I think. As just about every other pilot we have is pretty decently better than him. Actually, you know what? Strickland isn't that much better. It's only 1 point difference in maximum, and he's 3 points behind, so we'd have to really level him up. So the question is, yeah, I think, honestly, Captain Shen is better. He also makes a lot less money, so... I'm going to go ahead and dismiss Strickland here. Now, we didn't just read the description of Covington. Let's go ahead and do that. Numerous generations of Captain Covington's family were workers on a once proud Liao shipyard. Over the years, the company's fortunes dwindled and it eventually faded into irrelevance. Suddenly able to forge a life outside of the shipyards, he decided to take his destiny into his own hands as a mercenary. A skilled pilot, Captain Covington is the embodiment of a true mercenary. He has a nasty reputation of being a dedicated warrior, but with only his own self-interests in mind. Yeah, that's true. Everybody's a captain except for Freeman. I wonder if there's any ranks above captain. It seems like it's just lieutenant and captain. That's pretty much it. I mean, these guys are pretty close to being maxed out. You'd think we would have gotten to major by now, but in the end, we're a mercenary company. All ranks are meaningless. The question is, has Freeman really earned any higher rank, considering that I think he's the only pilot that lost us a mech so far? That might not be true. Pierre in the past might have been a problem in that regard, but we fired him long ago. All right, well, I think we're pretty solid on pilots at this moment. I mean, really, we just got two almost full cap pilots here. So, hey, all right. So I think that's all we can do at the moment. We could go over to this location. There's a rare mech there. And then just, you know, move down to here. Oh yeah, that's right. That's repairs. These repairs should not take all that long. They should be fairly quick. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and jump over here just to see what's over there. We're not really interested in mechs necessarily, but you never know. I still haven't had it explained to me in a way that makes sense that why rare mechs are somehow better. But okay. So we have an Atlas, a Catapult, two Cyclopses, two different variants. A King Crab, that's rare. Again, I don't know what makes this better. I guess it's just it's in full, ready-to-go condition. But they usually... I guess it's not too much more expensive than the other one we saw. So the Cyclops is a mech that technically would give us a 90-ton mech, which we don't necessarily have a lot of. The 10Z, I believe, is the standard variant. The 10Q, I'm not too familiar with. So it looks like it strips out the AC-20. Or what seems like some heat sinks. I'm going to assume more armor, as the Cyclops is not normally very well armored. Everything else seems about the same, except you get an additional medium laser. So it seems like most of the improvement is going to be in cooling and armor. It's probably not a bad variant, honestly. If I were to buy it, what would I get rid of? Let's take a look at that. We do have the Locust to sell, and actually, honestly, let's just go ahead and see if that's something we can do. So, according to what I read, one of the changes they did with this update was being able to sell something. Ah, okay, so it's a separate entry now. All right, cool. So you can just sell that immediately without having to do some futzing around. So we'll just sell that. All right. So the question is, what would we get rid of? I want to look at it from this screen, even though this is a unordered, jumbled mess. Grasshopper at 70 tons. This has been very strong for us, and honestly been one of my favorite mechs that we ran with. It's well past the point where it's a viable mech, I think. So probably should sell it, but my sentimentality says don't do it. Yeah, that's the lightest mech we have right now. I also think that Cyclops may have some room for improvement. Then again, though, I'm not sure how you would improve it. Because LRM-10s, it wouldn't probably take anything bigger from a missile standpoint, so you're kind of stuck there. The 3 medium lasers, you could upgrade them to medium pulse lasers, but that's about it. It wouldn't be much you could do, and we only have 2 medium pulse lasers, so yeah, there's not a whole lot you can do there. Yeah, I'm not really sure what you would do to improve it. And that's kind of the reason why I don't want to pick it up. Because I don't think that cooling is sufficient. Potentially it is. And I'm not sure if it's that much of an upgrade over stuff. I mean, it gives us more options, I guess. And as I said, we're not using the Grasshopper, so I guess it's time to get rid of this old workhorse that we had. Yeah, I'm just doing that to do the easy, quick strip out of weapon systems, and we'll sell it too. Although in theory we could keep it in our storage if we really wanted to, but as I said, I don't think we're going to use it, so let's just go ahead and sell it. Okay, so let's get that the Cyclops here. So I think the 10Q makes the most sense to me. This, I think it's even harder, really. Well, I say that. You could replace the AC-20 with, I don't know, like an LBX-10. That would give you back a little bit of weight, but I think this thing is so low in the armor that, I don't know, I just don't think it works out for us. This, on the other hand, I think you could do things with. It's a little bit more expensive, but it also is less damage, so there's less we'd have to repair. Alright, we'll take a look at it. Oh, before we do that, though, let's get our paint on. This is probably going to be the last purchase we make unless this mech turns out to be just severely disappointing. Because this fills a hole we kind of had. Where we only had one 90-ton mech, it helps to have a little bit more flexibility. The other place that we're kind of lacking is probably 85-ton mechs, because I think we only have one of those. Alright, well, let's go ahead and get the rest of the colors here. Not sure what we're going to do from a paint scheme side of things. We'll just have to look at what looks nice. I will say this is one of the mechs that I did experiment with, although I did experiment with the standard variant. And that's one of the reasons why I didn't want to get the standard variant, because I tried making it better, and it just... It didn't really work out, because... oops. Dang it. It ran really, really hot. So, in theory, I did improve it, but... I don't know, it was not something... I'd have to really work on it, and it's going to be hard. You know, honestly, the default paint job doesn't look bad. It looks kind of cool. Let's see what the other ones look like, though. Applejack. Not too exciting. Typically is not an exciting paint scheme. Buccaneer doesn't look all that great on this mech, I don't think. The Cobra we're already using with the King Crab, and it doesn't look great here. Crusader... That looks okay. It's not good, not bad. I'd say it's pretty decent. The default looked pretty cool. Kind of like you got the stripes here, blue, tan, white. Digital, fractal, hot rod. Hot rod. I'm not too interested in that. Well, I don't know if there's a mech where you're using that on anymore. Yeah, this doesn't really look good on any mech. Kraken. I wish I could look at the top, because I have a feeling the top might look interesting, but nah, not too interesting there. Polygon. Raider. Raider looks interesting. Razzle Dazzle. German. Snowfall. You know, Snowfall actually looks really nice on this mech, I think. Tiger. Urban. Vagabond. Yeah, the rest of these don't really look good with our paint scheme. Okay, let's take a look at... I honestly kind of just like the default. It looks kind of cool. I'll keep with the default. Oh, Leo gave me a write-up of this variant as well. Remove the AC-20 and replaced it with an additional LRM-10, 3 more tons of missile reloads, 2 additional heat sinks, a 3rd medium laser, and the right torso, and 7 more tons of armor, making it very well protected. Yeah, I kind of figured on a lot of that stuff. The ammo was the only thing I wasn't sure of, which it might actually have more ammo than is needed, but it really just depends on whether we can do anything with it. Well, first we're going to say repair all, just to get that out of the way. Alright, so let's take a look at what we've got. So the SRM-4 only has 1 ton of SRM ammo. I'm just going to go ahead and move that down to the leg. We have 4 tons of LRM-10 ammo. That's probably way overkill. I'm going to downgrade that to 3, I think. And that will give us 1 ton back. And that does put all of our ammo in the legs, which does make it fairly well protected. As far as armor goes, this thing is doing pretty good. I might only put a half a ton in. We'll have to see. I don't know what I would do with that half a ton, but I'm going to just go ahead and strip out that. We do need to upgrade the quality of the lasers, so let's go ahead and do those things. So I'm going to put quality 3s in the arms. I'll put quality 4 in the torso section because I feel like that's fairly well protected. The LRM-10s, well, we just bought a couple of these, so I do need to look in the market to see what else we got, but I'm going to go ahead and put the highest quality we got. We can't get anything bigger than an LRM-10 in here, so that's fine. We could put an Artemis system in, but I only have 1, and it is heavier, and I would need the LRM Artemis ammo, which I probably do have, but it is good. It's good as is. Now the question is, if I do give myself a half ton of armor, where would I put the other half a ton? It'd have to be ammo, because there's nothing else that really would fit in this mech that would be a half a ton. That's an interesting idea here. What to do with this thing? It definitely has room for improvement as far as the armor goes, because nothing is maxed out. I'm gonna go ahead and max out the arms. Max out? Maybe don't need to max out the legs. As a matter of fact, the legs might be too well armored. Maybe we don't. Maybe I can put a heatsink in this thing and maybe just readjust the armor to get the maximum. So I'm gonna go... We do have a double heatsink. Where did I get that from? Was that in the Grasshopper? Okay. I don't think this thing is going to run all that hot. I mean, it's only got 3 medium lasers and 2... Oh, I forgot to upgrade the SRM-4. Yeah, we might as well put it the highest quality because it's in the center torso. It'll be well protected. Yeah, so I don't think a double heatsink is called for in this mech. But another single heatsink wouldn't hurt. Then I'm just going to move the armor around a little bit to give us armor other places. I think the rear armor here is kind of weak, so I'm going to go ahead and upgrade that to 18. And I'm going to do... I think I'm okay with the legs being 70. I think I'm going to leave the center torso as is, perhaps. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to downgrade it slightly to give us armor in the head. I don't know why I'm putting the armor in the head, but I guess it helps protect it a little bit. Okay, that's not bad. I mean, we're up to 59 damage. That's pretty good. Armor is respectable. We didn't really modify it, but I honestly... We do have a little bit of room for improvement, but I think you're not going to get much more than a half a ton in this thing, unless you really want to upgrade that head a lot, which there's not really much call for. So, all right, 42 days to do all that, even though... Mostly it was just swapping weapons in and out. This is oftentimes where I just strip mechs, because replacing a quality level 1 weapon with a higher quality weapon actually probably takes longer than having nothing in the mech and having to put all new systems in. That's one of the things that I almost like, yeah, just putting it in cold storage and kind of cheating the system that way. I almost want to see, like, if it would take less time, but it's fine. We already did the loadout. Let's get our weapon groups. So I like putting, you know, honestly, I think we're just going to keep this as is. Like that. LRM-10, I think I'm going to do a chain fire as well. With LRM-10s, you could probably keep this fire up almost continuously. If I was piloting it myself, because these do load pretty quickly. And in that case, I would worry about heat a little bit, but I think it'll be okay. All right. It may have heat issues, but I think it's definitely going to be better off than the standard variant would have been.